All right, thank you very much, Paul. Does having a night to sleep, if you slept on it, I'm going to assume, sleep on it, give you any different perspective of Game 3?
A little more time to spend on the video more than anything else. You don't get down too easily. Win or lose a game, right? The energy in those games and your heart rate's running pretty hot. So it took us a little while to get through it, and then you handle your day. That's a big part of what we talk about here. There will be a lot of things in the game that we like. There's a few things we got to. We're more interested in the things that are trendish, thing that we would have possibly seen in 3 games that we want to try to tie up.
Anything come up specific?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, they've scored, I'm going to say 6 goals. We'll keep the shorthanded. The power play guy can sort that one out. But we have 3 in zone and 3 off the rush. And we've been a very, very good rush team all year. And most of it for us is just a matter of communication. Rarely is our rush defense problem a lack of aggressiveness. We're a pretty aggressive forechecking team. But we've had some miscommunication of some rushes that I think we can clean up.
Am I reaching here? Does a 3 o'clock start, getting out of the routine, does it have anything to do with seeing 4 goals scored in the first period of a game like that?
No, I felt that was there. I thought you saw the first 2 games some pretty fine goaltending. In Game 2, we're in alone 4 times. And we didn't get one to the net, but Shesterkin made some really good saves in tight off the rush. And that's kind of what'll happen in a tight game. The game almost gets played tight, right? When it gets 2 or 3 get going, it's a bit of a feeding frenzy. I didn't feel the game was that much more open on our part. We gave up the 2 rushes that we didn't like, and it's in the net. Like, we had 44 shot attempts against, so that would be a very low number for us.
You bring up Igor Shesterkin. I kind of was looking at watching the game, doing it from ringside like I do, and I was thinking, like, geez, this is almost like an 80s or 90s goalie performance where he gives up 4 goals, and yet he was also spectacular in the game. You don't always see that.
Yeah, you're right. Right, the Grant Fuhr, the Paul Coffey line to Grant Fuhr. I'll see you at the end of the game. You know, felt that a bit. We've, both goalies have made great saves, and then had squeakers go in on them that you're kind of going, well, that doesn't fit the 5 breakaways you just stopped. So, world-class goaltending, and I don't think that. I felt we've seen it in all 3 of our series. Vasilevsky was very good in the first round, and you saw Swayman. He had a 9.55 when we rolled into Game 2, so he was at the peak of his game. We've got to get some through. We had 108 shot attempts. I mean, I'd like to hold about 15 of those back and not shoot them for control. But that still leaves us on a really big number of pucks we got to the net. We got to get to the net. Now we're just talking about cliches. We got to get to the net. We got to finish on our chance, all that other stuff. So,
can you take us into the room after the second? I was there waiting to do a walk-off interview. It was extremely quiet after those 2 goals were given up. What was I really appreciate you keeping it clean here for this interview, but what was the Mauricio meter like? Or wasn't there not one? What was your approach and the team's approach after 2?
I usually don't remember the words. I can tell you the feeling. I felt it was there, but in order for us to access it, we were going to have to get our heart rates up. So you can sprinkle in the words that you think a man might use for those. It felt that way on the bench as well, that it was close. And it's not even so much belief. Sometimes it's just simplicity. Just do the simple, basic things as hard and as fast as you can, and good things will happen. And it did for us. You're right. It was an unusual game, right? Not a lot necessarily of ebb and flow. Like Game 2 was a grinder. Right, they went 11 or 12 minutes without a shot. We had a bunch of unproductive minutes. Well, that one was 2 steps away from being 9-8,
which is not bad for the fans.
Which is good for the fans, right? 2 good defensive teams now are bragging about. It's fine when you got the 9, not so good when you get the 8.
No, not good. Yeah. No, that I don't know if you would have slept if that had happened at all. All right, let's wrap it up with this. Looking ahead. Could you see in tomorrow's game some lineup changes, perhaps anything that needs to be adjusted for the Panthers? I don't know if you've decided yet or not. You say you do a lot of stuff on field, so I don't know if you've felt it yet now.
Yeah, I've got an idea that I may go in a direction that it won't be to correct personnel, because everybody in that lineup was a very big part of the Game 1 win. And we're pretty happy about a 3-0 shutout on the road. Like, we would be happy with that, and I like the way a lot of play. But it is sometimes feel. You're not always right on it. But the emotional, fresh guys coming in sometimes, they see different things in the locker room. It's a little bit of a change. It's a little bit of hope. So we will look at some stuff for that. And then I'm going to play with the line combinations, as everybody does, just to see what I like.
Oh, changing the lines starting the third worked. It
all right.
worked an awful lot for that one. This one worked too. I appreciate you
Oh, my pleasure.
taking some Memorial Day time. Beautiful facility, by the way.
It's a spot, isn't it?
It's gorgeous.
You could live near here if you wanted
First
to.
time here. Yes, you could live near here. You could almost walk to work
Yes,
every
you
day.
could.
That would be fantastic. That's how he stays in such good shape. Back to you.